Hello, good morning. Today we do 10th class a pair of linear equations in two variables. Here a pair of equations in two variables form a pair of equations in general. Here we take a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Now here these two are linear equations. Why? Because it is the degree of the equation is 1. So we have to call this as a linear equations of two variables. What are the two variables? X and y here. So the two equations are a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Now these two equations we can solve by graphical method or by algebraic method. We can solve any two equations either by graphical method or by algebraic method. Now in algebraic method, again we have three methods to solve the equations. One is called substitution method, second is called elimination method, and the third one is called cross multiplication method. Substitution method, elimination method, and a cross multiplication method. When to solve these two pair of linear equations in two variables, we can solve algebraically by three ways. They are substitution method, elimination method, and cross multiplication method. Now let a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Then the following the situations will arise. The first one we take case 1. In this case 1, a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. Then we call this as a consistent. This is b2. Now a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. We call this as a consistent. Now in case of second, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is not equal to c1 by c2. We call this as an inconsistent equation. And in a case 3, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2, when we call this as a dependent and consistent. Dependent and consistent. What is the now? What are a1, a2, b1, b2 and c1, c2? These are the nothing but a1 means the coefficient of x, b1 means the coefficient of y, and this is the constant. The value here is c1 we have to take. In second equation, a2 is the coefficient of x, b2 is the coefficient of y, b2 is the coefficient of y, and c2 is the constant. So like this we have to compare the values. For consistent, a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, and for inconsistent, a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2 is not equal to c1 by c2. In the case of case 3, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. We can call that as a dependent, and also we can call that as a consistent. Is it clear, all of you? Again I am telling a pair of equations in the same two variables. This is a linear equation. Why? Because the degree of these two equations is 1. These we can solve these two equations by graphical method or by algebraic method. So in the case of algebraic method, we can solve by three methods. One is substitution method, elimination method, and cross multiplication method. So let us we take two equations here. a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Now in that case, what will happen? The following situations will arise. First is case 1. a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. We call that as a consistent. In case of case 2, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is not equal to c1 by c2. This is inconsistent. In case of case 3, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. That is called a dependent, and we can call that as a consistent also. Now not only this, we can simplify these equations in three ways. One, it is called parallel lines. intersecting lines and the coincident lines. So for intersecting lines, what is the case? A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. We call them as intersecting lines, and it has only one solution, unique solution. We call that as the one solution. A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is not equal to C1 by C2. We can call them as a parallel lines. For parallel lines, we do not have any solution. We say it is a no solution. In the case of third one, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Then we call this as a coincident lines, and those coincident lines, they have infinite solutions. They have a infinite solution. Again I am telling A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. They are called intersecting lines, and it has only one solution, unique solution. And in the second case, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is not equal to C1 by C2. We can call them as a parallel lines, and for that parallel lines there is a no solution at all. And in the third case, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. We call them as a coincident lines. For coincident lines, we have a infinite number of solutions. Is it clear, all of you? So by graphical method, by algebraic method, we can solve. By graphical method, we can solve intersecting lines, parallel lines, and coincident lines. Let us take one example here. Example by example here we take. Now in the first case, we see here x minus 2y is equal to 0 and 3x plus y is equal to 0. Here A1 by A2 is equal to 1 by 3, that is the coefficient of x is 1, and here the coefficient of x is 3, so this is 1 by 3. B1 by B2 is equal to minus 2 by 4. How we got minus 2 by 4? The coefficient of y is a minus 2 and the coefficient of y is a 4. So minus 2 by 4, if you simplify, we get minus 1 by 2. So that is what we observed. A1 by A2 we got 1 by 3, and B1 by B2 we got minus 1 by 2. That is A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So we can see these two lines are intersecting. Here we can easily observe in this graph. This graph is x plus 4y is equal to 0, and this is the graph x minus 2y is equal to 0. Is it clear, all of you? Now you see here x minus 2y is equal to 0. That is nothing but if you y is equal to x by 2. If you take x is equal to 0, y will be 0. If you take x is equal to 4, y will be 2. We have to substitute in this equation. 4 means 4 by 2 is 2. Now in the second case, 3x plus 4y is equal to 0. Then you make y as a subject. Then y is equal to 20 minus 3x by 4. Now in this case, if you take x is equal to 0, we get y is equal to 5. Then if you take x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2. Here we take this as x is equal to 2. We take x is equal to 2, and this is y is also equal to 2. So here these two lines are intersecting at one point. What is that one point? That is a 4, 2. So it is having only one solution. So this one solution is what? This one solution is 4, 2. Is it clear, all of you? So if A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, then the two lines when we draw on the graph, what we observe is that these two lines are intersecting lines here. Now in the case of second one, you see this is a graph for coincident, that is 3x plus 2y is equal to 4 and x plus y is equal to 2. Both the graphs we get on the same line. See here, x plus y is equal to 2. Then 2x plus 2y is equal to 4. We comparison A1 by A2 is equal to 1 by 2, B1 by B2 is equal to 2 by 4. That is C1 by C2 is equal to minus 2 by minus 4, that is a half. So what we observed is A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Why? Because A1 by A2 we got 1 by 2, B1 by B2 also we got 1 by 2, and C1 by C2 also we got 1 by 2. That is why A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Then we call them as a coincident lines. For coincident lines now we have many solutions. The points which fall on these line, so these are all the solutions of the given graph. That is why we are saying that for coincident lines we have many solutions. For intersecting lines we have only one solution. For coincident lines we have many solutions. How to know whether these two are intersecting or not? This is the condition we have to follow. A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. Now in this case A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Then in that case we can call these are the coincident lines. For coincident lines we have many solutions. For intersecting line we have only one solution. What is that one solution? This is a 4, 2, and for this all the points which lie on this line, these are all the solutions for the given graph. That is x plus y is equal to 2 and 2x plus 2y is equal to 4. Now we see the next one. Now the third one is x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0, 2x plus 4y minus 12 is equal to 0. That is A1 by A2 is equal to 1 by 2, B1 by B2 is equal to 2 by 4, C1 by C2 is equal to minus 4 by 12. Minus 4 by 12 means 1 by 3. 4 ones are 4 threes are so 1. So what is the condition we got here? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is not equal to C1 by C2. When A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is not equal to C1 by C2, we call them as a parallel line. So here we can see this is the graph for x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0, and this is the graph for 2x plus 4y minus 12 is equal to 0. Since these two lines are parallel, then we have a no solution. So in that case x plus 2y is equal to 4. If you make y as a subject here, we get 4 minus x by 2. If you take x is equal to 0, if you substitute 0 here, 4 minus 0 is 4 by 2 is 2. Similarly, if you take x is equal to 4, then 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 by anything will be 0. In the second case, 2x plus 4y minus 12 is equal to 0. That is 2x plus 4y is equal to 12. If you make y subject, 12 minus 2x by 4, and if you take a 2 common in this, then we got a equation y is equal to 6 minus x by 2. If you take x is equal to 0, then 6 minus 0 is 6, so 6 by 2 is 3. If you take x is equal to 6, so 6 minus 6 will be 0, 0 by anything will be 0. So what are the ordered pairs we got? 0, 2 and 4, 0. In this case 0, 3 and 6, 0. Now here we can plot the graph by using these 2 points. What we observe is these two lines are parallel. These two lines are parallel. When the lines are parallel, then we do not get any solution. So here I wrote here the no solution for the parallel lines. And for intersecting lines we have only one unique solution. For coincident lines we have many solutions. Is it clear? Like this we can do the graph by observing the values of A1, A2, B1, B2 and C1, C2, and we can say whether the given lines are intersecting lines or parallel lines or coincident lines. Now based on this, let us we see some examples here. Check whether the lines represented by the following pair of linear equations are intersecting, parallel or coincident. So one equation is given 5x minus 4y plus 8 is equal to 0 and 7x plus 6y minus 9 is equal to 0. Now if you see A1 by A2 is a 5 by 7, B1 by B2 is minus 4 by 6, that is minus 2 by 3. C1 by C2 is equal to minus of 8 by 9. So what we observed is A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So if this is the case, we can say that these two lines are intersecting lines. We can tell the nature of the lines without doing the graph. So is it clear how to know whether the lines are intersecting, parallel or coincident? Just by observing this concept, A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, then we can say that the lines are intersecting. Now we see one more example here. 3x plus 2y is equal to 5, 2x minus 3y is equal to 7. In this case, A1 by A2 is equal to 3 by 2, B1 by B2 is equal to minus 2 by 3, C1 by C2 is equal to 5 by 7. Since A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, why? Because A1 by A2 we got 3 by 2 and B1 by B2 we got minus 2 by 3. So since these two combinations are not equal, we can call them these two lines, the two given lines are intersecting lines, or we can call them as a consistent also. In the next case, 2x minus 3y is equal to 8, 4x minus 6y is equal to 9. Here if you comparison, A1 by A2 is equal to 2 by 4, that is a half. B1 by B2 is minus 3 by minus 6, that is a half. C1 by C2 is equal to 8 by 9. That is A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is not equal to C1 by C2. Then we can call them as a parallel, or also we can call them as a inconsistent. The third case, x minus y is equal to 8, 3x minus 3y is equal to 16. A1 by A2 is 1 by 3, B1 by B2 is minus 1 by minus 3, that is minus cut off, we get 1 by 3. C1 by C2 is equal, B1 by B2 is 1 by 3, C1 by C2 is equal to 8 by 16, that is a half. So what we observed is A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but it is not equal to C1 by C2. Again, these pair of linear equations, this is an example for a parallel lines, and also we can call them as a inconsistent. Similarly, next one, x plus y is equal to 5, 2x plus 2y is equal to 10. If you compare the values, A1 by A2 is 1 by 2, B1 by B2 is 1 by 2, C1 by C2 is equal to 1 by 2. Therefore, we can say that A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Why we got 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 all are equal? Then we can say that coincident lines. For coincident lines, we have many solutions, and we can say that this is also consistent. Is it clear, all of you? If you like my video, all of you please subscribe the channel, share it and like it.